up, guys? Welcome to another video. Today we'll be reviewing Hocus Pocus 2. This one came out September 30th and was directed by Ann Fletcher and stars Bette Midler and Sarah Jessica Parker. Now, before we start, if you like, subscribe, and post notifications so you know for a video. Let's just start. Let's start talking about the good. So some of the actors and actresses are good, especially Bette Midler plays Winifred Sanderson, Sarah Jessica Parker plays Sarah Sanderson, Kathy Najimy as Mary Sanderson, and Jeffrey Trask, played by Tony Hale. They are great in the film. I really enjoyed all those characters. And the three, of course, original witches from the first film, Hocus Pocus, which I had a lot of nostalgia for. They're awesome. They're very, very good. It feels like they're just got out of the 93 film and put into this film because they are the exact same, exactly how I remember them. The opening sequence I thought was good enough. It's basically Salem in 1653 with Winifred, Sarah, and Mary as kids, and they become witches. That is how they become witches. And I thought it was good enough. Cinematography, which includes shots of cameras and the lighting, is good. It looked better than I expected. The trailers really didn't make it look too good. It made it sort of look like a made-for-TV film, but it looks better than I expected it to look. But it still kind of looks like a 2-hour play, but a sort of upscaled version of a 2-hour play. The first half of the film I thought was okay. Set up the characters, fine. Of course, the only reason why I watched this film was because of the three original witches coming back to the film, and I thought the first act of the film overall was okay. There's a great entrance of the Sanderson sisters. The song "The Witches Back," that is that is the best song in the entire film. I thought it was very, very well handled, very well done. I knew it was gonna break out into a song and a dance sequence, but it worked for me. The Sanderson sisters are basically the exact same from Hocus Pocus. They act the exact same, and they're still funny. And I think it works, and it plays down that nostalgia factor because, like I said, I have a lot of nostalgia for Hocus Pocus. So they act the exact same as they did in the original, and I thought it was fantastic. There are also some good references to the original Hocus Pocus. Billy Butcherson, which is the zombie, he does return in the film. He is used a lot in this film, but I think his return was good enough. And the third act of the film I thought it was okay. It wasn't bad. It was just lacking in some areas, but overall it was fine. And the score by John Debney, I thought it was a great score. I really enjoyed the overall score for the film. The tense sequences, the haunting moments, it has that sort of fun and excitement with the film and the score, while using some darker sequences with a darker score. That's all the good that I have. Now to move on to the bad. So all the characters in this film are not interesting at all. Very mediocre acting. The main characters are a bit annoying. I did find them annoying in the film. I did not care about what they were doing. The main reason they made this film was for people to watch it, of course. And it's really for the people who watched the original Hocus Pocus. Because the characters, aside from the characters that I stated, they do nothing for the film. Nothing to help the film at all. They're terrible. The entire film does not capture the magic of the original, which of course makes sense, but I expected a little more out of it. Going off that, I believe it was about 30-something years after the original, so I expected a little more, but really, it doesn't recapture the magic at all, and I don't think they ever will. There are also many messages being forced at the audience. Some are just in the film for the sake of being in the film, which is one of the worst things that I think you could do for a film, is have so many messages in there that are just forced out to the audience that doesn't even help the story at all, because there are messages in this film that does not help the story at all. So I did not really care for them. There's also a bad scene. There is the scene with lighting the black flame candle, which I saw it in the trailer, and I didn't think that they were actually going to use it like that, but it's a picture with the two lead's best friends who supposedly died, but we don't know who she is before that entire scene. She just has a picture and she says, "Oh, you're dead, whatever, I'm sad." But we don't even know who the character is in the picture. So that part was horrible. Very, very bad on a story level and on a cinematography level. The second of the film was very mediocre. It's very bland. I did not really care what was going on in the entire second act. Becca, who's played by Whitney Peak, has superpowers for some reason in the third act, which doesn't make a lot of sense because you never even sort of discovered how she got her powers or anything that happened to her. So I don't really think it made a lot of sense. There's also some cringeworthy dialogue, especially in the third act of the film. The cringe-worthy dialogue is actually very, very bad. The third act of the film has a lot of it. There's also a terrible scene where Book somehow leaves Winifred and goes to the lead character, which does not make sense at all. I know they wanted to make her a new witch, I guess, but Winifred Sanderson, when she calls Book, the Book will always go straight to Winifred. There's no other thing. That's what happened in the original Hocus Pocus. That's how it is. And they wanted to change it up to make it for a newer audience, you know, a new witch or whatever. I did not like it at all. I did not care for it. It was a terrible decision and possibly one of the worst decisions in the entire film. The Sanderson sisters get a redemption at the end of the film, which is one of the worst things that you could ever do for the Sanderson sisters. It was a very bad change. They were bad. They were villains in the entire Hocus Pocus from 1993. There was no redemption arc for them. They were villains. The kids were the heroes, and they ended up stopping the Sanderson sisters and made them, of course, go away for many years. That is the whole point of Hocus Pocus. The witches are not supposed to be good characters. They're not supposed to have an emotional attachment to Winifred, which they give her an emotional attachment, which all of them get an emotional attachment because, you know, they're all sisters, whatever. I did not like that at all. They just changed it up for no reason, just to make it different, and it did not pay off at all. And the ending sequence is very mediocre. The three main characters are walking like the Sanderson sisters. It's very, very cringe. They're walking like them for no reason. Like I said, I did not care for it at all. That's about it. Hocus Pocus 2 is a very mediocre and unnecessary sequel. It doesn't capture the magic of the original, and I recommend checking out the original film over this film. You can just skip this film. So I'm going to give Hocus Pocus 2 a C-. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like button, subscribe to the post notification bell so you know for a video. I'm Peter. Thank you for watching.